The theory is Barney is actually a sinister cult leader and serial killer, and his friendly personality is just a trick to lure children into his cult.
Mordecai was a drug addict.
He's a freaking crackhead. That's the first thing they say. So as you may know, there's a bunch of conspiracy theories online. It comes to politics, it comes to people, it comes to religion. There's all types of conspiracy theories out there. It's been around since like the dawn of time. And I always wondered how like our childhood cartoons came to be. Like, was there a secret lore behind the cartoon that the creators didn't want us to know? That's what I love about the internet, because a lot of people have a lot of different ideas about stuff. So I thought I'd react to some TikTok videos about conspiracy theories about our favorite childhood cartoon shows. But before we hop into it, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Alright, let's react to these conspiracy theory videos, and maybe it'll open my third eye.
This SpongeBob conspiracy theory is so dark, it will change the way you look at SpongeBob forever.
Oh, really?
Pearl's father is actually the whale we see in the Jailbreak episode in Season 9. But he's actually in there for killing his wife, aka Pearl's mother, after he tried to flee from the scene. Before getting arrested, Mr. Krabs stumbled across the crime scene and the carcass of the mother whale and baby Pearl left all on her own. But here's the disturbing part. When a whale dies, its carcass can fuel an entire ecosystem. And so Mr. Krabs, overcome with excitement and greed, sees this as an opportunity to make a lot of money and comes up with the idea of the Krusty Krab restaurant, adding pieces of Pearl's mother into the Krabby Patty formula as the secret ingredient. But here's where it gets really dark. Mr. Krabs only adopted Pearl as an alternative meat supply in case he runs out and is trying to isolate her from her father and friends. Could this be the reason why he spoils her with so many gifts so that she doesn't end up leaving? Throughout the show, Mr. Krabs always expresses how once his daughter is fully grown, she's going to go off to college, when in actuality what he means is she's getting butchered, cooked, and served up to customers.
Yeah, I don't know why the pictures are like so, I don't know why the pictures are so freaky in this, but that's a good theory. I believe it.
All of the Rugrats are a part of Angelica's imagination. They aren't real. None of them? Chucky died in the same accident that his mom died. And that's why his dad is always so nervous and freaking out, because he has to deal with it.
What about Tommy?
Well, Tommy was a stillborn. And that's why Stu goes down into the basement late at night, making toys for the son he wish he had.
That's why he's always depressed.
What are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life.
And the twins ended up being a miscarriage. It was early in the pregnancy, so Angelica didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl, so she just imagined both.
What about Susie?
Susie is real and going along with all of Angelica's crazy imaginations because it's her only friend. She tries to make her happy at times. But the one baby that is real is Dill. Dill goes against Angelica's crazy imagination and doesn't do what she expects. And that's why Angelica freaks out on Dill all the time and gets so upset.
I don't know what you guys think. You think that's real? Think Angelica's going crazy?
Backyardigans' most bizarre theory. Did you notice that during this entire time in the Backyardigans, we can see some strange figures in the windows that appear in some episodes? According to one theory, this happens because with each episode that takes place in the cartoon, they always venture into new places, but they are children and cannot travel around normally like an adult would, so it is safe to say that this is all imagination from them. The most interesting thing is that in the cartoon's opening song, they confirm this, as they clearly say that the whole world is in their backyard, actually represent a madhouse, because when the characters gather in the garden, it would be a type of leisure time for the patients there. Another thing that confirms this is that they see themselves as animals all the time, revealing in fact that they are schizophrenic, and that is why they see themselves as animals instead of humans. Furthermore, if you look at the window of the characters' houses during the episodes, you will be able to see people who always appear there in several episodes, and this actually represents the nurses who are watching the patients in the hospice. Backyardigans' most bizarre theory. Did you notice that during...
That's freaky though. Why is there a face back there? That's weird.
Dora the Explorer is actually blind, and Boots is her guide animal. Throughout the show, Dora never seems to look at what she's talking about and also doesn't blink. Dora often speaks directly to the audience, asking for their help to spot objects in her surroundings or to choose the correct path. This theory suggests that these interactions are Dora's way of asking for guidance as she can't see her environment herself. Her constant inquiries like, "Can you tell me where the mountain is?" or "Do you see Swiper?" are her methods of making sense of the world around her. Boots, Dora's loyal monkey companion, is more than just a friend. He's actually her guide animal. He is always by her side, helping her navigate the world, warning her
These
of
AI
obstacles,
generations are
assisting in finding the
crazy.
objects she talks about. Boots' presence and his proactive engagement with the environment serve as crucial aids, making him an...
Well, you guys decide, is that real? I don't know.
The theory is Barney is actually a sinister cult leader and serial killer, and his friendly personality is just a trick to lure children into his cult. His constant singing of "I love you, you love me" is a way to brainwash the kids into being loyal to him. And when characters disappear from the show or get sent away, it's believed they were given a choice behind the scenes. Join Barney's gruesome cult or become his next victim, which explains why each child actor is different in every episode and they are never seen again throughout the show. Now, here's where it gets really dark. Baby Bop, Riff, and BJ are actually children who joined Barney's cult to escape the fate of the others who were sacrificed for refusing. Barney used his dark magic to transform the children into dinosaurs, hiding their true identities to deceive future child victims. Rumors spread that there were hidden rooms and tunnels on the show's set. These secret places were likely where Barney carried out his horrific crimes, which easily went unnoticed by the production team. What's even more disturbing is that Barney was based on a real 1930s serial killer, also named Barney, who wore a dark dinosaur costume and abducted children from local parks and school playgrounds.
That's crazy. Yeah, Barney, I never really got into Barney.
Mordecai was a drug addict. The reason Mordecai was in every episode of regular show.
He's a freaking crackhead. That's the first thing they say.
In this dark theory, Skips is Mordecai's supplier and user. Every solution he gives Mordecai is something that he experienced when he does LSD. When he cannot give him advice, it is because he never comes across it himself. Skips gets
I never got into that show, but that was just hilarious. He said, this guy's on drugs.
The theory is the Teletubbies are based on a group of mentally ill children that were abused and killed in a Bulgarian
Why is it
mental
so
facility,
freaky, the
infamously
AI?
known as La La Land in the 1960s. Each Teletubby character is based on one of these unfortunate children. Lala was inspired by a child who suffered from a severe facial disfigurement that forced her to smile constantly. Her unsettling appearance and tragic life were softened into the playful, happy character seen on the show. Tinky Winky represents a deaf child.
These
who was
images,
tied
though,
to a
I'm not gonna
fence
lie,
outside the
they're
facility,
pretty good.
left to suffer in the freezing cold until he developed severe frostbite. His tragic story was turned into that of the large purple Teletubby, known for carrying a bag that seems to symbolize his isolation. Dipsy was based on a malnourished child who was so sick that he spent days lying in his own vomit, forgotten by the facility's staff.
Who comes up with these stories? Like, this is such a long stretch. Like, somebody made this up. Clearly somebody made this up. This isn't part of the show at all.
His pale green color and slightly sickly demeanor in the show are said to reflect this horrifying past. Poe, the smallest and reddest of the Teletubbies, was actually inspired by a child who fell into a fire, resulting in severe burns that permanently scarred her, hence why her Teletubby color is red. The theory is the Teletubby...
Yeah, like I said, these freaking people come up with these crazy stories. I like it, though. That's very dark.
Prepare to have your childhood memories destroyed by this terrifying SpongeBob conspiracy theory that uncovers the dark truths behind our friends down in Bikini Bottom. The theory is SpongeBob SquarePants and the rest of the characters in the show actually represent the 7 deadly sins. SpongeBob represents lust. His obsessive passion for everything he does is intense, whether it's his job, friends, or hobbies. Patrick represents sloth. Patrick is the epitome of laziness, always sleeping under his rock and avoids any form of work or effort.
Why is
Wrath,
Patrick surrounded by
constantly angry and
freaking
frustrated,
entities?
especially with SpongeBob and Patrick. Mr. Krabs represents greed. Mr. Krabs has an uncontrollable hunger for money.
Why?
He'll go to any lengths to make a profit, often at others' expense. Sandy represents pride.
Just imagine being like 6 years old or 8 years old or whatever, and you come across this video about SpongeBob.
Sandy takes immense pride in her abilities and intelligence. Her arrogance and need to prove her superiority highlights immense pride. Plankton represents envy. Plankton is consumed by jealousy of Mr. Krabs' success. Gary represents gluttony. Gary has an excessive craving for food. His constantly hunger and love for eating highlights extreme gluttony.
This could be true. I mean, I don't think it's intentional, but that makes a lot of sense, though. I'm not going to lie, though.
Did you ever wonder how they came up with the word Nickelodeon? Pretty strange word, isn't it? The original story they give for the name is that it comes from olden times where you would pay a nickel to see a music show. And the music hall was considered to be the Melodeon back in the day, coming from the Greek word oideon, and combined was called Nickelodeon. But
I didn't even know
it
that.
seems to go deeper than just that. If you break down the word Nickelodeon in Latin to Nickelodea, it translates to I don't care about God.
What?
Now, you're probably
No
asking,
way.
why didn't I pronounce the N? There's no N in there. How could that be Nickelodeon? Well, take a look at the original Nickelodeon theme song.
Nick, 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 Nickelodeon.
They do not pronounce the N ever, and there's multiple variations of it.
I
back
don't
in the
know,
day that they made of
bro.
the song. And we already know the corruption runs deep in Nickelodeon with Dan Schneider and these showrunners. Maybe their intentions go a little bit deeper than we think.
I don't know. I don't believe that. I think that's just a far stretch. That was a good one though. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, I thought I'd do a video kind of just looking over these theories. I get interested in these sometimes, you know, and some of them are really like far-fetched, and some of them are really on point, so I'm like, cool, this might be real. Thanks for watching the video. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe to more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.